All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, this is another time of Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan and my wonderful guest today, man. They're actually west of the Mississippi today. I love it, man. And we talk to people all across the world, so we're so proud and excited to have these wonderful people on today. We got Mr. Dillard Kelley and his wonderful son, who look like his brother, Mr. Blake Kelley. How you doing, guys, today?
Doing excellent, sir.
Amen. God bless you, man. Thank you so much for your time. Hey, guys, thank you for your time as well. Matter of fact, let me check, make sure we're streaming on the network here because we're going to go global, global, global. And I believe we are ready to go. Let me just confirm that. Yep, we are online now, guys. So thank you so much, guys. Hey, guys, we're here today to talk to these wonderful people, wonderful and visionaries and wonderful leaders, if you will, of this wonderful organization. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But before we get started, Dillard and Blake, there's so much going on the planet today, man. I always like to hear from my guests to say a few words of encouragement, empowerment, but anything you want to say from your heart, man, today to just encourage some people today, because folks are going through some stuff. They just sometimes people say, I just need a hug. Anybody can hug me today?
That's our goal and purpose, Kevin.
Amen. That's
major
right.
Hugs and major encouragement.
Amen. So, Brother Dillard, we'll start off with you, my friend. Anything you'd like to say to the audience?
Sure. Absolutely. First of all, I want to thank them all for being here, and joining us. We know for a fact that there are things that people are dealing with. They're dealing with going through personal trials, situations. We're living in a world right now that we're in what's called the end time prophecy. And, the righteous folks, they understand what end time prophecy is, but there's many people who are unaware of what the situation that's occurring. So we'd like to do exactly what you said. We want to encourage people and let them know that there's an opportunity. And our goal, Blake and I, through Vision Ministries, through Robert Paul Guy's Foundation, and also through Benerai, is to create. We're going to create a visual opportunity and enhance the perception for people to know who they are and to be able to be blessed and be fulfilled and reach the goals that they have in their lives.
Powerful. Thank you so much, Mr. Dillard. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Dillard Kelley, and he's one of the founders and the visionaries for this wonderful organization. We'll talk about it a little bit. Brother Blake, anything you'd like to say to the audience, my friend?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it general and consistent. No matter where you are in life, there's always hope. It's God-given. We all live by God's grace. Your story is not finished. Your setback is not your identity. Your delay is not your denial. What you've walked through may have tested you. It'll stretch you. It can even break parts of you, but it'll never disqualify who you are, especially being made in God's likeness and image. So the purpose is in you. There is strength in you. There is wisdom being formed through every season that you survive, and sometimes the very place. And the pressure may feel overwhelming, but it's God preparing you. So sometimes the struggle feels like stopping you, and it's actually shaping you. And you always need to remember that. Having opportunities to commune with one another, even if it's over video, is always encouraging and empowering. And you are not here by accident. You have gifts, experience, ideas, influences, and they all matter. When you rise in faith and stewardship and we join hands, we become light to people around us. So I'm just giving that for everyone. I want to keep building. I'm very thankful to participate, and I extend a great God bless and thank you to everyone.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Kelley. Thank you so much, Dillard, as well. Guys, this is incredible. I want you guys to pay attention today on what's going on. We're going to be talking to the owners and the visionaries and the leaders about this wonderful, wonderful organization called Benerai. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but Benerai organization, guys. There it is right there. I want you guys to check it out a little later on. But Dillard, if you don't mind, let's give a little background about you guys. First, I'm going to go with Dillard first. Dillard, tell us a little about yourself, man, and how you got to this stage. And then we'll go to Brother Blake afterwards. Thank you so much.
Hi, Kevin. That could take a whole afternoon within itself. I've had an extensive background. I've been blessed, man. God has been very good to me.
Yes.
I could go as far back as you say, as a young child. Around the age of 6, 7 is when I started going to church, accepted God at age 12. And from that point on, just an empowerment of wisdom was bestowed upon me. And I began to study, the gospel to expedite some time frames, going through high school. I was actually invited to the United States Olympic team as a tryout for high jump. I was a 7 foot high jumper in high school. So these were just natural gifts, talents that were given. To further on, I went to school, went to Logos, University, studied biblical studies, got a graduate in biblical studies. I mean, again,
Yeah.
it's just been the history of the gospel and knowing who you are. And that was kind of the forte. I have a background in finance and economics. I had a business in insurance, Series 663, mutual fund sales. I have an extensive background. I was also a firefighter and a paramedic. I did that for a little over 20 years combined. So with all of the background and the learning and knowledge and wisdom, it's culminated now to the point where there's mysteries that are being revealed as we live in these end times. Hence, that's where Benerai comes from. That's where the organization was created. It's to be a blessing to humanity because of the times that we're living in. So, with that, I'll pass it over to Blake. He can share a little bit about his background.
My name is Blake Kelley. I'm the founder of Benerai Ministries, a faith-driven organization created to help people discover their God-given purpose, lead with integrity, and make lasting impacts on their families, communities, and the general marketplace that we all operate in. My background includes entrepreneurship, artificial intelligence development, software development, strategic business development, fintech, compliance, real-world asset technology, and ministry. I've pursued educational studies in accounting and economics through Harvard University, as well as with international business and corporate finance at Concordia University. And I did also study at Arizona Arizona School of Real Estate and Business. The heart of my work is pretty simple. It comes from people understand who they are in God, faithfully steward what He has placed in their hands, and lead that with integrity. They can transform the world around them in a positive way.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we just heard from Dillard and Blake Kelley. They are the founders and CEOs and visionaries of Benerai organization, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get that right. Hey, I wanted to hear. This is Benerai. There you go. Benerai. And it's French. It's French, right? Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us about that background. I'm learning here as we speak here. So tell me about how that came about, guys. How the French word really captured you for this organization.
It's an interesting story, actually. We were looking to block out web space in the .ai marketplace.
Yeah.
So anything with that handle ending in .ai, we were coming up with creative nomenclature around, and it became we became aware to the individuals that I develop with and work with in other projects hail from French Canada, and they're deep entrenched in the artificial, the AI world since the 1980s. And so we started going through a series of French-based nomenclature to block out specific web handling in web space. And I stumbled upon, I was thinking about something you could use within the non and not-for-profit sector to go beyond just our for-profit work. And I realized to bless. And I was like, well, it's a bless. Bene. And then it came into Benerai, which is the first person possessive form of bless or to bless.
Amen. I love it, Blake. Thank you so much. And guys, I want to make this kind of interactive. So, Dillard, you guys chime in any way you want, but I do want to release the mic to Blake because we want to talk about the purpose and our mission and what you guys' goals are too as well. But Blake, if you don't mind, just tell us why we're here today, man, because we want to promote this wonderful organization and what you're all about. But if you would take it.
Yeah, I would love to. So just, opening frame is roughly, well, not roughly, but really speaking, we have 90 seats available. There's one interactive cohort. Once the seats are gone, the door closes. And what the seats are and what we're looking to anchor for everyone who participates is it's a $250,000 grant that's available in the first year. $50,000 is available to each what then matures into a fellow after each year after that. And if your project qualifies, we have up to $20 million in bond offering and capital raise support on top of that. And so that's the design of the program, as a whole. So 90 people will received the initial grant application or initial grant award of $250K. They have
Yes, sir.
ongoing support of $50,000. During that packaging, we go through an intensive where we package up to $20 million worth of support for their church, charity, or initiative, even if they're an individual of something that they're passionate about in pursuing. And like I said, it's restricted to 90 seats because the compliance and support work is quite intensive. We work with a number of capital partners and on an institutional basis to make sure that these bond offerings are circulated through a strategic syndicate, so to speak. So we do have limited space. We wish we could help everyone. We will through our cohort of 90 fellows. is the plan.
Exactly. I love it. Well, Blake, let's talk about that because we're going to do a commercial break right now. So people say, okay, I need to learn more or how to get in touch with you guys. What's the best way to do that? Even those who are listening right now.
I'd say Benerai.org. So that's Bravo, Echo, November, Indigo, Romeo, Alpha, Indigo.org. BENIRAI.org. All the information is there. You can click through a series of the pages on the website, everything from about us to the programs, the fellowship offering that we're extending through our inaugural year, the intensive. We have intensives in July and August, which gives general background work and framing work for everyone. And then we get into a September grant packaging and application process. We have grants and scholarships available that are listed on our grants and scholarships page, and then our initiatives. And this is where our programs extend and how our programs hit local communities domestically and globally. And everything is designed circularly. So if you hit our website at Benerai.org, you will have access to any and all information that you need, and you can reach out to us at info@benerai.org.
Oh, I love it. Blake, appreciate you so much on that. Hey, Blake, one of our biggest areas is organizations, man. We got organizations all across the globe, as you know, but we're talking about women, men, business organizations as well. And of course, we got our nonprofits as well. Can you talk to those leaders that need to really consider talking to you guys about what their needs are as well? Can you talk to that demographic if you don't mind?
Yeah, specifically, we have a grant and scholarship available for rather than individuals. That is our Benerai Community Development Fund, and that actually also stacks with the Benerai Institutional Partners Grant. Both are designed for institutions. We do have individual grants, like focus grants as well. But on an institutional basis, someone who may already have trusts in place, maybe 508 structures, other forms of 501c3s, or private family foundations under 509 designations. We've designed the July and August intensives, where part of that programming directly interfaces with existing institutional scale all the way down to church or charity based organizations. So if they have existing programs that are already running that they want to supplement fundraising for, we have a track for that. If they want to launch a new program, say a housing initiative or a building fund, we have tools built for that. And the way that we've designed our intake for our fellowship program is there's a toolkit. So if they already are using existing software, we have software available that's fully built in and integrated to our web application. They can either white label it from us, which is pretty simple API plugin, or they can just enroll. And as they go through a full compliance track that integrates in an institutional scale, it has direct API plugins for accounting software and integration into other banking applications as well. So initial support of $250K if they already have existing developmental programming track. We have part of the packaging goes up to 20 million. That's on a project by project basis. So
I love it, man. That's great, Blake. I love it. One thing I love about this as well, I was going to ask you, is people say, do you guys speak as well? We want to have you guys be invited to speak on other platforms. So all my colleagues out there, Blake and Dillard, they need to contact you guys so you guys can be on their platform as well to share this wonderful organization and also the mission and the purpose of the organization as well. So I want to put that out there as well on top of that. So Blake, so who qualifies, man? I mean, is it pretty much a structured organization qualifies, like our churches? Of course, we talk about nonprofits. It could be for-profit, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? For-profit as well?
That is correct. We've designed it so any individual organization can qualify. That's why we have three main grants and scholarships that are currently active now. So individuals, families, small
Yeah.
teams, congregations,
Right.
community organizations, nonprofit institutions, and coalitions are pretty
Yeah.
standard, classifications of individuals or organizations that we work with on a for-profit, a
Yeah.
consulting basis, and a for-profit basis, and then also on a nonprofit basis. So, yeah, if
Yeah.
they are a for-profit entity, we have slightly different track.
Mhm.
They would visit Benerai.ai,
Yeah.
very similar handle. And
Yeah.
that will take them through our family office and then get them integrated into ROC LLC, which is Resource Oversight and Compliance Keystone, where we handle compliance and direct consulting needs.
Oh, fantastic, Blake. Thank you so much. Dillard, you feel free to come in anytime, man, if you like there. Anything you want to say about thus far, my friend?
Everything that is being discussed, primarily, Kevin, is Blake's
Yeah.
specialty.
Yeah.
My purpose in this is we're an organization that's generally targeting
Yeah.
specifically those that have an identity,
Right.
their
Right.
identity in Christ.
Yep.
We'll help anyone in need, but
Yeah.
especially for the righteous. When it comes
Yes.
to those that have accepted Christ, know who they are,
Yeah.
because many have spent many of their years, going to a
Mhm.
job or going to
Yeah.
work. And they've
Right.
been looking for hope. They've been trying to find, solutions. And
Hmm.
there's a bridge that needs to be, put in place
Yeah.
because there's a gap between your hope and waiting for the covenant from God to come together and the manifestation of that hope. And what Benerai, what Robert Paul Geist Foundation, what the
Yeah.
Lightspeed Ministries, we're all interconnected, and we're building that bridge in
Yeah.
support for the righteous to give them that visual opportunity and enhance their perception so that they not only know who they are, but they have a roadmap to fulfill the covenant. That's a covenant promise that was given to them at birth.
Oh, I
So
love it, man.
what you're doing at this point is allowing Blake to really give a thorough
Yeah.
explanation
Yeah.
to anyone, but
Absolutely.
especially those who have a vision. They
Yeah.
have a purpose. They really want to do a great work for humanity and want to
Yeah.
serve God. And then to say, okay, I've got all of these ideas, I've got all of these hopes, and I've got
Right.
all of these
Right.
desires,
Yeah.
but how do we do this? That's
Yeah.
the bridge that
Exactly.
we're building and putting that together for humanity. So I will let
Absolutely.
allow Blake to go ahead and
Yeah.
answer the questions for those who
Yeah.
primarily have questions about it, and then I'll
Right.
just lay the foundation as to how we came about the vision and
Mhm.
the righteous fulfillment.
Oh, I love it, man. Appreciate you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we're here with Benerai, the founders and the visionaries here. Benerai.org. There's a website. I want you guys to do your research and homework as well. But it's so important, guys, that you understand the mission, right? You understand the mission, the purpose, and also the demographics, as Dillard just mentioned too, as well, what the demographics is as well. Who can qualify, who can be a part of that. Well, Blake, if you don't mind, start that process, man. If somebody says, okay, do I need to qualify? Is there a qualification requirement? Again, I think it's all on the website. But somebody says, okay, what do I have to really do? Just go to the website and sign up there? Is there some pre-stuff that need to be done or some conversation with the board of directors, that they need to have with the organization? How's that process work for just getting started with you guys?
So we've integrated everything to
Yeah.
be as turnkey as possible. So if someone
Yeah.
just went directly to the website, it's designed for everyone to start at the website, get a bit more
Gotcha.
acquainted about who we are,
Yeah.
what the program's all about.
Yeah.
And then from there, they walk through into either one of two weekends. One is in July on the 25th or the 26th. They are
Hmm.
identical foundational weekends. And the other weekend is August 29th and the 30th. Both are
Yeah.
in Scottsdale, Arizona. Both broadcast on Zoom as well.
Oh, great.
It's a suggested $1,000 donation to participate. Either
Hmm.
one, anyone can attend, and it gives us structural basis
Yeah.
to what will be covered in September. And we will be meeting every weekend in September
Hmm.
on Saturday mornings. And then there's a September intensive, I believe on the 26th of September and the
Okay.
27th,
Love
where we'll actually be going through and doing multiple tiered grant application packaging. So
it.
that's
Hmm.
our internal endowment funds packaging will be completed, and that's all online based. So we have a 14-step online based application process. They'll be able to go in, register,
Wow.
enter all their qualifying information, regardless if they're an individual, all the way up to if they're a major,
Right.
multinational
Right.
institutional endowment fund or
Yeah.
institution participating with us. And then the additional piece of what we're working on through the intensive in September is the
Mhm.
additional grant programs that we're tied into and
Right.
a bond offering for larger scale projects that may be
Mhm.
substantial. So
Yeah.
tapping into certain tax credits that are currently available for certain types of developments,
Mhm.
real estate based development. So if someone specifically is going in to put in infrastructure and
Mhm.
transportation, especially dealing with clean energy and
Yeah.
clean renewable energy and water as part of their
Right.
project, we have a package that covers that cohesively.
Mhm.
But it's designed as a grant offering, and it has multiple provisions that go with that, and it's state and federally specific. So
Mhm.
it's a bit more involved. That's why we
Yeah.
take the entire month of September, depending on
Right.
how much need and support an
Right.
individual organization may need, depending on their scale, to get that all packaged up. So we go through September, their grant application will be submitted and processed. So by the end of the year, they should be looking to a very, very Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. That's great. I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, we're here with Blake, Vince, Kelley, and Mr. Dillard. Kelley look like brothers, but that's his father. Mr. Dillard is the father. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure y'all know that because they do look like brothers, don't they? I love it. I love it. Hey, Benerai.org, ladies and gentlemen. Benerai.org. There's a website for more details. We're encouraging all our nonprofits and for-profit individuals that are set up properly, right? You got to be set up properly. Ain't no startups here, I don't think. So you got to be in place, guys. Because Blake, you don't want to waste their time on this stuff. You want to be in place. You want to be what I call mature, Blake. I call it matureness in the business world. You have to have a matured system in place, I believe, to really benefit from this area as well. Also, too, Blake, I want to ask you: is this domestic only or is it global? How's that work?
It is global. Part of the July and August weekends of what we're getting into is bridging domestic projects with the
Mm-hmm.
compliance track to operate internationally. We have a specific focus on Cook Islands and Nevis St. Kitts, working with a Nevis multi-form foundation,
Mm-hmm.
going through different
Yes, sir.
control dynamics and compliance requirements for back-end bookkeeping and international record keeping, to
Yeah.
make sure that even if you have a US based control board, that you're fully compliant with certain disclosure and non-disclosure requirements that certain
Mhm.
churches
Yeah.
are afforded if
Right.
it is a church that or a church auxiliary or an association of churches that may be working with one another.
Right.
So there are certain
Yeah.
disclosure requirements that church auxiliaries, as well as associations of churches are not bound by, that other forms of organizations such as private
Yeah.
foundations and other types of 501(c)(3)s are. So we
Yeah.
definitely do get into
Yeah.
those provisions in operating on an international scale. And then we do reach out. It's like that's a basic platform, but account structuring and opening through the United
Mhm.
Kingdom and United Kingdom structure,
Mhm.
operating in Asia and some of the tripwires that we want to be
Wow.
sensitive to, and
Wow.
then operating in special designated nations. So how you can deploy resources into even sanction restricted nations if you have
Right.
food service or need to deploy resources into conflict areas. We touch on all these
Oh,
things.
oh, I love it, Blake. That's amazing. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, those online right now, if you got a question, you can either put it in the chat or you guys can come off mute later on as well. So we'll be opening up the lines for that if you do have a question for these awesome gentlemen. Hey, guys, we're talking to the founder, CEO, and the visionary for Benerai.org, Benerai.org. There's a website, guys. You know, Blake and Dill, I was thinking about all the minister alliances, all the ministers that have that minister alliance. They meet, on a regular basis. We're talking about ministers, pastors, right? Bishops, apostles that meet on a regular basis. You need to contact these guys, man, and learn more about the information to see if there's a fit there for you. Can you talk a little bit about those structured boardrooms, if you will, Blake, and also how important it is to reach out to you from that perspective as well? Is
We
that
we designed the core of the project with
yeah,
associations of churches in mind.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
that was the
yeah,
ground up build
yeah,
is looking at what are
yeah.
some of the institutional provisions in syndicating support across
Mm-hmm.
associations of churches. So
Yeah,
most of these boards are well established and have been around for tens or even over 100 years. And
right.
with the elders that are now
Yeah.
steering those committees, uh,
Yes.
looking at different ways that we can add additional program support to standing causes that are passionate and they see they already have programs for, and they just want to see add further seed into their existing ministry. So I keep coming back, but like existing building fund on a congregation by congregation basis, or something of projects that congregations are coming together to look at. We really do focus in the July and August session on some of the specialty reporting aspects of tying into public-private partnerships while still keeping their church reporting segregated and private, but still qualifying for public funds. And so how we can set up special containers to access HUD-based resources and other government-based resources while retaining anonymity and privacy for the church or charity themselves, and keeping segregated books in a compliant fashion. So reporting is done accordingly. It's just held in separate containers and trusts and reporting vehicles. We structure certain type of holding companies and all. There's a whole structure that goes behind it, but absolutely, that was the background and the basis of why we first started. Was
love it, man.
And then once we saw that, we're like, hey, we got to so many individuals who are passionate, just as passionate, and we're like, hey, we have to design this technology so everyone can participate.
Man, all I can say, you guys are brilliant. You got a plan, you know how to execute, and that's what it's all about, guys. Hey, if you're just joining us, we're talking to Brother Dillard, Mr. Dillard Kelley, and his son, Blake Vincent Kelley, who's the CEO and founder of the Benerai, not ORG. I'm going to get it right here, guys. Benerai.org. It is a French word. I got to learn French a little better, I guess, as well. It's all good. But, you know, Blake, I was thinking about while you was talking, how about our universities, our colleges, and our private schools? Can they do something with y'all in these areas?
They absolutely can. A lot of the developmental work that we've done in developing patents and other technology development, we've worked hand in hand with several universities here in the United States. And so if participants are going for university funding or doing doctoral studies, or the university themselves has specialty programs that they're implementing, we have extensive experience working with multiple universities for fundraising, and then also intellectual property development, so to speak. So that integrates on a university basis and in a governmental basis. We're very clear about grant allocation and record keeping and compliance, and working with, say, DARPA or other types of intelligence-based organizations.
Fantastic. You know, one thing I wanted to ask both of you guys is about the what I call the state of our nation, as far as funding. You know, nonprofit funding and even for-profit funding. You know, they're cutting back all over the place, guys. Can you talk a little bit about that a little bit? Is that affecting, you know, the state cutbacks, federal cutbacks for grants and for funding and stuff? Is that affecting you guys any, or how's that look from your perspective?
I think it is. I think people they want to take a very strong look at what we've put together.
Exactly.
I shouldn't laugh. It's not a laughing matter.
No, I know what you mean.
I think with the audit requirements and the shift in the international business climate and political climate, there are stricter audits going on use of funds, especially through USAID. I think that's a crossover, like, without getting too political about it, but different international strategic alliances and how resources have been deployed traditionally. And we get an opportunity, rather than see it as a problem, we just assess the situation and look at forging new paths forward with, you know, existing and with new strategic partners. So designing this platform to work domestically first, domestically focused, but with also knowing that a lot of the existing programs that exist in program implementation have been longstanding for decades. So it's saying, hey, we have a new avenue of supporting existing causes, and we're very excited to participate and continue the good work.
Yeah, I salute you on that, man. Brother Dillard, any comment about that, man? Because I know things are affecting everything.
Gosh, Kevin, what you just said opens up the floodgates for opportunity.
Yeah.
Because as the cutbacks in limited resources, people are going to have to become creative. And in being creative, you have to remember there's this thing called eschatology. There was the beginning of time, and then there's an end of time.
Yes.
And in the period of ending time, these are jubilees, or time periods, or time frames. And in this time period that we're in now, this real time period, there is an outpouring of wisdom. There's an
Yeah.
outpouring of knowledge. There's an
Yeah.
outpouring of opportunity
Yeah.
because things are winding up. Again, that's why this whole concept was created, so that the opportunity for those that are visionaries, for
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
that have a desire to want to support, want to help, those that want to make change, we're opening that floodgate for people to come in so that
Yeah.
they can create, so that they can pull the resources needed and that are necessary to help people, to
Yeah.
change people's lives, to expand the horizons, because the mind is a powerful thing.
Yes, it
And
is.
over the years, I've seen literally how the atrophy of us using our minds falling into a slave mentality. Well, now with what's going on, it just opened the floodgates for people to be able to expand their minds again and to get creative and active. So, yes,
Wow.
what you said is true. There are cutbacks, but
Yeah.
there's a greater opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all heard that wisdom there, because, ladies and gentlemen, you got to pay attention. I was writing down while you were talking. You got to be creative. You mentioned that, Dillard. You mentioned that, guys. You got to be strategic today. I'm talking about strategic. If you got to go 1 degree to the left, you better know that. Not 5, but 1 degree, right? Whatever it is, you got to be strategic. You got to have a good plan too, guys. You got to have good planning. And these guys are good at that to help you grow as well. And first of all, and last but not least, guys, we want you to think. Sit down with your team, right? Start thinking about how we can raise this revenue or budget that you need for whatever your goal. Because the vision doesn't stop, guys. The money has not left the planet; it's still available.
We actually design it to create the funding. All
Yeah.
funding is created internally, and it's a biblical
Yeah.
principle that creation comes from within and spoken. And so
Yeah.
we've taken institutional funding metrics and built them directly into the web portal. So as individuals and congregations and church leaders come forward and make
Yeah.
their vision plain, they can
Yeah.
speak it. We actually have it designed where
Yeah.
you can speak into the web portal. It's captured
Right.
in a compliant way. Reports and minutes are recorded and
Right.
documented accordingly. And then we have transparent data tracking and measured that is not solicited or sold on the back
Right.
end. So if anyone
Yeah.
is wondering, no, it is private and it's
Right.
proprietary to the platform
Yeah.
itself and to your organization. You have full rights
Mm-hmm.
over your information and anything that you develop on our site and using our software. We don't keep that to ourselves.
Yeah.
And we design it in a way, it's like, well, how does money work? What is it? It's actually a documentation of your creative process. So from
Mm-hmm.
our background in intellectual property development, we took those same concepts and saying,
Mm-hmm.
here's our initial gift and seed that we plant into the individual or the organization. We know
Mm-hmm.
from biblical principles that that seed needs to be nurtured. And that's why we designed a fellowship and a cohort structure to make
Yes,
sure
sir.
that as each one teaches one, that we sharpen
Yeah.
each other
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
grow and strengthen each other through our walk of faith. And then we realize that we receive a yield, that there is fruit of our labor and that it is
Mm-hmm.
produced. And so as it
Mm-hmm.
carries out, we document that entire process in a way that meets institutional scale of measure for data collection and for accounting purposes. And then we actually circulate it and create
Mm-hmm.
currency. That's why part of what we package is a bond offering in a way that strategically self-settles its
Yes,
own
sir.
debt obligation. So it's not just creating, because we don't actually believe in debt in from our platform. We use debt as a strategic calculated tool, a monetary
Mm-hmm.
instrument that is already balanced against standing books and credit. So even though it
Mm-hmm.
may be ledgered as a liability or an exposure, it's also ledgered on another set of our books as an asset because we hold an interest in that debt obligation and how it's issued. That may sound fairly technical. It's pretty straightforward when we get into the nuts and bolts of how it works of keeping a
Yes, sir.
balanced ledger through multiple organizations.
Yes, sir.
But that's while there is a cutback in certain existing programs of funding and those
Right.
resources, we're coming forward and creating new funding, not
Yeah.
just through our grants and scholarships, but
Right. Right.
also in how we actually capture intellectual property and
Mm-hmm.
circulate it through the open marketplace and show and record the direct impact that we have. So many
Yeah.
people are fed. So much soil is regenerated. So much carbon is captured. This all has standing economic value that there are credit for
Yeah.
globally that we can capitalize on and then liquidate to existing other syndicates, such as banks. They buy these tax credits. So there's a whole system. It
Yeah.
is long-standing and well-established, and it
Yeah.
is an honor and a privilege to empower existing organizations that may not be
Mm-hmm.
utilizing all of those skills or tools
Mm-hmm.
to get them fully plugged in. to support. A lot of organizations are doing amazing work. They're healing people.
Yeah. Oh,
they're praying
yeah.
for people. They're
Absolutely.
encouraging people. They're housing people. They're showing up every day of every week and getting the real work done. It's
Yep.
not about money. It's about the
Right.
actual lives that we're living and the impacts that we're having on an interpersonal basis, sharing the message and living out the inspiration of Jesus Christ on day by day basis.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. The rest is just reflective in nature. And so what does that excellence look like when it's reflected? It's complex and it's legally sophisticated, but it's no more sophisticated than the love that comes from the crucifix. And
Yeah.
that's why we show up and we're saying we want to make sure that everyone has an equal footing and opportunity. And it's not lip service. It needs to
Right.
be integrated where any and everyone can participate clearly and simply and easily. So we meet people where they are at.
Yeah. Yeah. That's powerful, Blake. Thank you so much for that. Powerful. That is the heart, if you will, of Benerai.org. He just gave you the heart, guys, of the organization. And guys, I want you to contact them. I want you to learn more about that, about the organization, and get your detailed questions resolved right as well. But also, too, I want you guys to invite all my colleagues, guys. I want you to invite them on your platforms to share this program. We got some guys up in Detroit, out in California, and down in Alabama and Georgia. We want you guys to invite these guys so they can share this wonderful organization's vision. Transforming communities and empowering communities, guys. That's what you're all about today as well. So thank you, guys. Everybody live, thank you so much for being with us today, and everybody live with us today as well. Hey, Dillard and Blake, I want to ask you guys individual. I'll let Blake go last because he is the founder of the organization. But Dillard, if you would, give us some final thoughts, man, some takeaways, anything you want to leave us with today, my friend.
What I'd like to leave everyone with is the same thing that we started the call with: empowerment and encouragement.
Yeah.
That there are answers, and it's a covenant. It's something that was promised to us, and we're empowering people. And I want everybody to be encouraged, to be focused. Most of all, be excited about what's happening here, because it's all about the people. It's all about changing lives, Gavin. I want to leave that with everyone. And I want everyone to know that we love them. I want everyone to know that we're thankful for them to be here. And most of all, we wish you the best.
Absolutely. Always. Thank you so much, Mr. Dillard. Hey, guys, just for those who don't know, that's Mr. Dillard Kelley. His son is Blake Kelley. They look like brothers, man. I love it. So I just want to let y'all know that. He's the dad. He's the son. And before we go to Blake, I want to tell you why this is so important, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we do this. You matter. Dillard just mentioned it. You matter.
All about you.
Everybody say that to yourself. I matter. You matter, folks. You are so important to God first, which we should stop right there, because you can just stop right there, because if he's excited about you, we must be excited about you as well. So, God, we're so excited. But Brother Blake, thank you so much for your time today as well. But any final thoughts, takeaways, anything you want to say, my friend? Wow.
As we leave today, my encouragement is simple. Don't underestimate what God has can do with a willing heart, renewed mind, and surrendered to purpose. I would say every person in the room, wherever they are, carries something extremely valuable. They carry wisdom from what they've survived. They carry strength from what they've endured. Their purpose is still unfolding. God has a purpose, and it works on a fluid basis. Everyone's past is a key part of their story.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be a controlling underpinning where they are and where they're going. So as they walk forward with faith, I ask that we lead with love. We steward what God has placed in our hands. Called us to build, and we come together and lean into one another to gain the resources and the insights that we need to be successful on a moment-by-moment basis.
Wow. Incredible. I love it. Can't get any better than that, Blake. Thank you so much, man. I was writing down while he was talking. You are still here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Blake just said. You're still here. You're here. You survived a lot of stuff. We all did. So that means we work every day. Every day we work what we can do, right? Get busy, guys. Hey, Benerai.org, folks, Benerai.org. I want you guys to share this out on all social media platforms. Get with the gentlemen, get with the Kelleys, guys. and learn more about this. But you start with the website first, okay? And we thank you so much for your time today. Man, Dillard, this has been great. Blake, this has been wonderful. Of course, you guys can come back anytime we need to. And we thank everybody who's listening live right now, all my friends out there. Hi, y'all that chimed in. Thank you so much for joining Blake and Dillard today on the network as well. God bless you. And remember to keep things going. Hey, hold on, guys. We're getting ready to finish up here a little bit, if you don't mind. Hey, guys, we want you to go to the website. I want you to share it out. I want you to invite these guys on your platform. I don't care if it's television, radio, podcasts, live events, whatever. You're going to have to contact them, though, through the network to do that. But please set that up with them directly. If you got any problems getting with them, let me know. I'll be glad to share that. Hey, as my mentor would say, ladies and gentlemen, remember, always outlove, outserve, and outforgive each other. This has been Kevin Vaughan with my wonderful colleagues out there, Mr. Dillard Kelley and his son, which looks like his twin there, so to speak, Blake Kelley as well. He is the founder and the visionary for Benerai.org. Guys, thank you so much for being with us today. Appreciate you so much, man. God bless you.
God bless you.
All right. Hey, everybody, send this out to everybody that you know, and we'll talk to you next time on Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan. God bless you, everybody. Take care. We'll see you.